Our next guest, I see him there waiting. Let's bring him on. Hugh Rogers, CEO of Xphyto Therapeutics. There he is. Hugh, how is your Wednesday going, sir?
Hi there, Spencer. It's pretty good so far. How about yourself?
Pretty good so far. That's good. Let's make it into a great day, guys. Let's go ahead and share Hugh's slides. There it is. I'm going to step off, Hugh, and let you do your thing.
Okay, so you can see my slide deck there, Spencer?
Yep, we see it.
Okay, great. So I'll jump right in. Xphyto Therapeutics Corp, listed on the CSC, XPHY, and the OTC XPHYF. So we're a product-focused company, and in particular, investing in new technologies and innovative technologies that can have significant impacts on human life. So as we move through the presentation, you'll see two general, let's say, subsectors of the industry that we're focused on. We have a rapid diagnostics portfolio as well as a drug formulation portfolio, and there is some overlap. So there's a reason to these. We're a small company, but we're participating in a number of different areas of the bioscience sector, and there is overlap and synergies that we've gained through our technology and our scientific team. Company overview. From a very high level, we acquired a German-based drug formulation and delivery company. So they specialize in ODF and TDS, so that's oral dissolvable and transdermal drug delivery systems. These platform technologies offer precise, efficient, optimized bioavailability. So technology-driven, proven technology. They've done Vector Pharma, our 100% owned subsidiary. It's done work for major pharma. We've developed generic, hybrid generic, and also novel drug formulations. When it comes to diagnostics, we have an exclusive development partnership with a German company, 3A Diagnostics, and we're focused on rapid point-of-care screening. So this is not just COVID-19, but a number of other pandemic threats, H1N1, H5N1, as well as oral health indications like periimplantitis. And then in terms of our overall portfolio, a number of products, very late stage, we're ready to launch several diagnostics. We've already launched two, and we have a pipeline, really a scalable pipeline of generic and hybrid generic therapeutics. And our strategy has been M&A for the most part, buy and build. We've acquired technology. We've done exclusive partnerships. We have a number of, as noted here, R&D collaborations with world-renowned universities, which has allowed us to leverage significant infrastructure with a relatively modest investment. And lastly, on this page, we do have several unique psychedelic programs, which are quite interesting and are synergistic with our drug formulation business. So as I've noted, we are product-driven, so diagnostics, drug delivery, psychedelic medicine. Our lead product in the diagnostic space is pretty exciting. This is a rapid point-of-care COVID-19 RT-PCR diagnostic kit, and this was launched in Europe earlier this year, and we will very soon, looking forward to announcing some pretty exciting clinical validation work internationally. So several trials coming down the pipeline. Within that diagnostics portfolio, also a number of other products, as I've mentioned, and these are real-time, ultra-low-cost screening devices, and these are designed for population scale screening at a very competitive cost to other, let's say, centralized automated type testing systems. And then drug delivery, again, transdermal and oral dissolvable formulations, and our psychedelic medicine program. So we focused on psychedelic medicine programs as a foundation on production of GMP pharmaceutical grade psychedelics, both mescaline and psilocybin, as well as incorporation into our drug delivery platforms. So as noted, we carry out a significant amount of M&A. We have a planned acquisition of our development partner, 3A Diagnostics. This adds a number of advantages to our company in terms of margins and synergies with respect to human resources. And I'll touch on that in a moment. We also have collaborations with universities, partnerships, private and public. And as I noted earlier, vector acquisition was a key acquisition in Germany and added the drug delivery expertise. So in terms of the different areas of the company and how they overlap, I think at the core here, we have our drug delivery platform. And that platform, and particularly ODF platform, is also used by Xphyto to deliver oral biosensors. So it's a drug delivery platform. It can be used, for example, we have a CBD program in clinical validation right now, focused on certain, as an indication, focused on certain treatment-resistant forms of epilepsy. Now that drug formula uses our ODF platform, as does our biosensor screening tests. So we're able to leverage existing technology to add additional products to our pipeline, as well as psychedelic medicine, also leveraging our drug delivery platform. So we're in several areas of the bioscience industry, drug delivery, drug formulation, diagnostics, as well as moving into other neurotherapeutic compounds. And this is all possible in a relatively small company because of the technology and IP that we hold. So here's an overview of our product pipeline. Many products coming our way. We have 2 in the market as of today. The first being a rapid RT-PCR for COVID-19. And I'll dive quite a bit deeper into this particular product, but it's very exciting. And as I noted earlier, third-party validation and clinical trials coming our way on that product. We also have an oral inflammation product that has been just recently launched within the last several weeks, and a number of others in the pipeline moving towards European regulatory approval for oral health, in particular peri-implantitis, as well as an oral biosensor for COVID-19. So this would be a ultra low cost distributable product. It would be a competitor to something like an antigen test, where it can be used at home or at point of care as a screening tool. So we have both a COVID-19, a rapid PCR kit, as well as a biosensor that's in development. And when it comes to therapeutics, our 4 lead indications, the first is a generic product. This is a transdermal patch for Parkinson's disease, followed by 3 oral dissolvable formulas. The first for epilepsy, the second for nausea and anorexia, and the third for multiple sclerosis associated spasticity. So I think it's important. We do participate, we are actively working with cannabinoid compounds, but certainly not considered a cannabis company. Everything we're doing is science-driven and medically focused. So these would be prescription-based medications, and our initial market is in Europe. So let's dive a little bit deeper into rapid diagnostics. So our lead product being our rapid RT-PCR diagnostic kit, very exciting. It's a turnaround time of 25 minutes. It's about 5 minutes of hands-on preparation and processing with a 20-minute thermocycler reaction. And I think the next point being point of care utility as a diagnostic device is extremely important, because currently the standard is to collect samples at, it could be a pop-up tent on the corner outside of a hospital. It could be an airport. It could be a hospital itself within the hospital. But in all of those scenarios, they're collecting samples and batch shipping them to a centralized lab for batch processing. So what we do is we carry out or empower our customers to carry out the testing on site. It allows a very rapid turnaround. It avoids the batch shipping and avoids batch storage, as well as the centralized lab testing. So it's an immediate turnaround time with results available on site. It has a low detection limit, so reliability of PCR test with a much faster turnaround, and cost effectiveness. So as testing numbers decrease, some centralized labs will be forced to either wait for additional samples to process, as I said, in a large batch, or they will process smaller amounts at potentially an economic loss. So the scalability of our product, which is designed for, let's say, moderate to low throughput, distributed throughout the community, is an alternative that allows testing companies, allows healthcare providers to maintain positive economics as while at the same time providing immediate results. And again, easily accessible. It's using off-the-shelf equipment, off-the-shelf reagents, and our proprietary test kit. And a little bit on our oral biosensors. So we have a number of biosensors in our portfolio, and it's important to understand, essentially, it's a specific molecule. And when I say specific, it's specific to a certain type of pathogen. So a viral, for example, in a peptide scenario, an enzyme on the bacterial surface will sever peptide, for example, which releases an extremely bitter compound. So it's actually your tongue that's acting as the sensor. We have, as I mentioned before, periimplantitis, periodontitis, influenza A. We have an H1N1, H5N1. So a number of oral health applications, as well as pathogen, or I should say, pandemic threat applications. And these are unique proprietary products, biosensors for various pathogens. They're highly accessible. They're easy to use. No infrastructure required, no training whatsoever. Results in 2 to 5 minutes, and extremely cost effective. So this would be a competitor, for example, to, as I mentioned earlier, an antigen test. So as the COVID-19 biosensor gets closer to market, we'll have a better idea in terms of actual cost, but it's going to be extremely competitive. And the product is really designed, as I also said, for population scale screening. So here's another look at our diagnostic pipeline. I think the important thing to remember is that we're focused on rapid and ultra rapid medical device products. So these are, as I said, our RT-PCR, it's a 25-minute turnaround. The alternative would be hours, potentially days, at a centralized lab. Our products are initially launching in Europe. We have some state funding from the German government, and overall, in the context of the rapid testing market, I think we're very well positioned. This is an extremely fast-growing market, and noted at 8.9% here annually, but within the pathogen-specific testing market, much faster growth. So we're very well positioned in a rapidly growing industry. Now, drug formulation. A couple of key points on our platform technology. We are working on generic, hybrid generic, and new active pharmaceutical ingredient products. So it's a platform technology that it can incorporate many different types of API or active pharmaceutical ingredients. So we have the capability to research, develop, and manufacture both transdermal patches and oral dissolvables. The platform is compatible with most drugs. We do some contract work for third parties. Most of our work is done in-house on our own products. It's highly scalable because of our generic and hybrid generic approach. These products, rather than taking many years to get to market, will take, let's say, 2 years to get to market at a fraction of the cost. So we usually budget €1 to €2 million per product, and this is scalable. So rather than spending $25 or $50 million bringing a new product to market over a 5 to 10 year period, we're focused on, in the, let's say, 24 to 36 month period at a cost of €1 to €2 million. And this is scalable. And as noted earlier, rotigotine being our first lead product, and followed by several ODF or oral dissolvable formulations with CBD, THC, and a combination of CBD and THC. And I think a good example of the advantages of our ODF products is we're expecting, and based on what we've seen so far, is a 5 to 10 increase in bioavailability. So that means a 5 to 10 times more efficiency. It's immediate onset. It's highly convenient in an oral dissolvable form, and this would be in contrast to the currently approved product on the market, for example, or CBD, which is oil-based. So you're losing a lot of the bioavailability simply through the delivery mechanism. And then again, the platforms are compatible with our biosensor portfolio. And our drug formulation pipeline, again, really focused on generic and hybrid generic formulations, relatively low development risk in the generic and hybrid generic industries, and scalable, and adding value to these products. So again, with the ODS, for example, increased bioavailability, improved pharmacokinetics, and convenience. Again, the example, oil versus an oral dissolvable. It's much cleaner, it's much more accurate. And our focus is the European market. And again, fitting into a rapidly growing market, which is the global thin film market. So these are alternative methods to deliver already approved drugs. And to touch on psychedelic medicine here, our focus is on, first, the production of APIs. So this is pharmaceutical grade active pharmaceutical ingredients. We're working with both mescaline and psilocybin. Success in both of these programs. Second step, after the actual production and secure supply, in-house supply, significantly, is drug delivery. So incorporating mescaline into our oral dissolvable platform is the next step in our psychedelic program, and then bringing that oral dissolvable mescaline drug formulation back to Canada for clinical validation. And our focus will be addiction and trauma-related neurological indications. So, and there's a lot of overlap between trauma and addiction, and we're looking forward to some relatively high-profile clinical trials back in Canada. So psychedelics, they're emerging APIs. I think they have incredible promise for a number of neurological conditions, whether it's anxiety, depression, PTSD. This is really a promising area, and we're excited to be participating there and excited to be able to leverage our existing platform technologies. So a little bit on our strategy, market, and team. As I've mentioned, M&A has been one of the cornerstones of our strategy, and we have a planned acquisition of 3A, our exclusive development partner in the diagnostic space. Creates, as noted here, significant commercial development and manufacturing opportunities and cost synergies and improved margins. So by acquiring 3A, essentially we capture their margin on these products, and we also are able to secure an experienced research and development team and a pipeline of ready to launch biosensor products and all of the associated intellectual property, which is very exciting for the company as we move into the point of care biosensor market, which we're fully committed to, and with this acquisition certainly making an aggressive expansion. And the market overview. In general, we participate and we're looking for opportunities constantly in highly explosive industries within the life science sector. So thin film drugs, rapid diagnostics, COVID-19 testing. I would add psychedelics to that. These are all ultra high growth opportunities. And within these sort of subsectors, rapid diagnostic tests, the pandemic and pandemic threat market is enormous, and one of our biggest focus at the moment. Management team, myself, I think we have a very strong business team as well as scientific team. Dr. Raymar Lobenberg, founder and director of the Drug Development and Innovation Center, University of Alberta. Dr. Thomas Beckert, founder of Vector Pharma, and Manfred Buchberger, who's our diagnostics expert, and the former CEO of a multi-billion-dollar European diagnostics company. I'm very lucky to have him on board. We also have an experienced board of directors with venture capital, finance, capital markets experience going back decades. So just to highlight, again, our business highlights, planned acquisition of 3A. We have acquired already 100% of Vector Pharma. We have a number of exclusive psychedelic agreements in place for the production of API. We have a diagnostics portfolio, which includes a rapid COVID-19 PCR test, a number of oral biosensors. We have a drug formulation business with 4 products in clinical validation right now, and a scalable pipeline behind that. We have a psychedelic medicine portfolio that leverages our drug formulation business and our platform technology. And we also have non-dilutive funding from the German government.
All right, a lot to digest here. We're at time. Hugh Rogers is the CEO of Xphyto Therapeutics. Tickers on the bottom of the screen. URL is on the bottom of the screen. Hugh, thank you so much for coming on the Benzinga Small Cap Healthcare Conference today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.